Hi guys, welcome to our sixth episode of Studio G Podcast. My name is Mia Gomez.
And my name is Carlos Mora.
And we're going to be the hosts for today's episode.
Today we have really good guests. I'm going to let them present themselves. And they're the winners of the El Paso pitch competition. Woo! So tell me, who are you? What's your name?
Cool. So I'm Jesus Maximino Hernandez.
And I'm Timothy McCrary.
And we're the co-founders of InternBytes, a career development platform for students and a diversity recruitment platform for employers.
Awesome. It's really great to have you both here. We're truly honored. And thanks again for being here. Now, a second, to kind of promote ourselves, this is UTEP Studio T, powered by the Mike Loya Center for Innovation and Commerce, where we help current UTEP students and recent alumni grow their business. Be your own boss. So now, you guys, we're going to go ahead and start talking about your guys' story. How did InternBytes come about?
Where are you guys from?
Yeah, so we're both from El Paso, graduated from UTEP. I think we graduated last December. And we've been working on InternBytes for about 2 years. And Max is kind of the spearhead of who started it. So you want to give that story?
Yeah. So I guess the idea really came into fruition during my first internship. So I was interning with NASA. It was in some random city that I never heard of. It was called Huntsville, Alabama. And before I accepted the offer, I was on Google trying to search up more information about it. And I just couldn't find anything, whether I should accept the internship or not. You know, I've never been to the city, and, you know, NASA is a really cool household name, but, you know, I wasn't too sure what my project was going to entail and if it was actually going to benefit me in any way. So I accepted the offer, and it turned out to be a really, really great internship experience. But I was thinking, like, I almost rejected this experience because I just didn't have enough information on it. And it's not like I could have asked my parents because, you know, they never went to college. I'm a first generation student. And, you know, I was asking my fellow students, and some of them were saying, like, yeah, of course, accept it. And others were saying, no, it's better to continue your school and finish faster so you can work faster. So because of that, I thought, well, why isn't there like a rate my professors, but for internships? So that's kind of the idea came in. And, you know, me and Tim, we worked very closely back then. We were just classmates, me, Tim, and our third co-founder, Eric. And I kind of just presented the idea to them, and they really liked it. So that's how the first iteration of InternBytes came along. It was actually called Rate My Internship.
Wow. So you see that the NASA internship was cool. What do you mean cool? It was awesome. Being an intern at the NASA, and that is something that probably helped you to find why you wanted to start InternBytes. So that's awesome. What about you?
In what sense?
Like
why did I decide to join?
Yes.
Yeah, so like I said, me and Max were pretty close classmates. And he went off to NASA. And he came back, started talking about this idea. And eventually he got me and Eric into NASA. And, you know, because of that, we kind of had this like internship experience, and we thought, hey, like, he's right. Like, there needs to be more info about these things out there. And so after that, we just started just working on it.
You were like computer science major?
Yeah, all three
classmates?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you guys met here at UTEP.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I really do believe you guys have like a gem with you guys. Why? Because like I've been looking for internships like all over the place, but it's like super hard.
It's so
to
hard.
find everything. And
Yeah.
I, as myself, as an international student, it's like way harder. So I think like with your app and website, like it's going to be like way easier to find everything and all the details. So thank you guys for coming up with this marvelous idea.
Well,
Thank you. Like actually in the name of the student body, we thank you, because it's an opportunity not only for UTEP students, but for everyone that is looking for an internship. At the end, college is to get experience like that. However, I'm going to ask you, because I'm new to the podcast, I'm a new host,
Cool.
And I'm new to the center, Studio G, right?
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Instagram, Studio G on Instagram.
Studio UTEP, yes.
My question is, what is InternBytes? If you need to explain to someone new, what is InternBytes? How does it work?
Yeah, so on the student side, InternBytes is a career development platform. So as a student, you go on InternBytes to advance your career, whether this is through internships, whether this is through learning how to do an interview, different conferences and like workshops that employers host. InternBytes is the place to go. So if you want to advance your career, if you want to have a guaranteed job right after college, you would want to sign up for InternBytes.
And like the whole idea is to have students helping students, right? Because that's where you get the most like true info from.
Yes.
And that's what we want to, in our platform, to kind of grow. I think that's most special to us, especially.
Yeah, all our content on InternBytes is created by other students.
Yeah.
So you're getting help directly from someone you can relate to. And that's the whole idea. That's what makes us different from everybody else, from like Handshake, right? Like Handshake, UTEP doesn't use it, but they're one of our biggest competitors. And they're basically kind of the same thing, like a career development platform for students. But the difference is that on InternBytes, all the content's created by other students. On Handshake, all the content's created by employers or Handshake themselves. So that's
who will be better than giving you like a review than another student that already went through it. So
exactly,
that's awesome. So
You guys, I'm really intrigued, and I really want to like take the opportunity to ask you both. How did you guys manage to work, like to create InternBytes while being a student?
a computer science student.
Yes.
yeah. So what's really great about it is that as a computer science students, they're kind of teaching us like the fundamentals of how to create this. But basically, it's just through trial and error. And recently, it was actually Tim who actually spearheaded our like latest development. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, but basically, it's just how did we get into .NET and C# and all that?
Okay, I mean, it's like I guess we were like, so we built we started 2 years ago, right? And it was when we first started, like we built a website that was it looked good, but like in the actual coding part, it was like a mess. It was crazy. And so after like beginning of this year, I was like, all right, let's like build it on something new if we're gonna really work on this. And so I found this new framework, set it all up, had it easy for everyone else just to jump in and join. And so now like our services are on this like amazing technology that's super easy to use for us and the user. So that's cool. So
and then also as students, we have access to like the UTEP library. And so basically we all center in our schedules. We try to commit like 20 hours a week. And basically we were at the UTEP library for like most of our day. So, we finish our classes. All right, let's meet at the library. Let's get a study room. We just be there until they kick us out. So,
yeah.
Right.
I am curious. Like a project is like a baby, right? My question is where the InternBytes was born. What was the first time where you thought like, let's make something like this? Let's come out with InternBytes. Where was the first time that you can remember where everything was happened for the first time?
Yeah, I think it was in the computer science building. We were like on the second floor. And by then, so as computer science students, in order to get like an internship, and you can learn about this on InternBytes, you want to do personal projects. So, Tim, Eric, and I, we were all doing this AR app just to like boost our resumes. But when I came back from my NASA internship and my internship in Seattle, I present this idea to them at the computer science building on the second floor. And we're just like, yeah, like people need a place where they can rate their internships and see which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. And so I would say, yeah, that second floor in the computer science buildings where the whole idea came into like, I don't know, and to life.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is amazing. And I really remember you guys participating on the first business competition that we had at the center. I remember you guys like really well. And tell us more about like the programs that you guys participated in, because I know you guys went through Studio G and Blackstone. So tell us more about your experiences. How did that help you guys? Like, did it open doors for you? Let us know.
Oh yeah, it definitely has opened doors. And it's crazy because you're right. Right when we created the business, we incorporated in 2020. That's when like Studio G came out. So it was just really crazy that UTEP coincidentally created like this business accelerator program. And I just kind of like saw an ad or on Instagram. I'm not sure where I saw it, but I was like, hey, let's sign up. It's free. And basically from our first competition, we didn't really know what we were doing. We're all computer science students. So, the whole business aspect, that was just new to us. And it's really helping us. It's really helped us progress a lot. Studio G and Blackstone. It's helped us progress so much that Blackstone actually, and you were there for the conference, someone we met at the conference actually hooked us up with someone who would be interested in our services at Amazon. So right now we're on track to get Amazon as our first employer to sign up and use the site and basically make our first revenue. So
Awesome. And I just wanted to point out that this conference was actually funded by the Blackstone Launchpad. So thank you. It was this year in San Francisco. So it was amazing. I had a really fun time with you guys.
Yeah, special thanks for that. That helped a lot.
I want to congratulate you guys for winning the El Paso Pitch competition. That's amazing. So let me ask you, how was your journey there? Was it hard? What was the challenges that you faced on this competition?
Yeah, so the journey there is it's kind of crazy. So there's this co-working space. It's called Sandbox Ventures. It's here in El Paso. It's actually really close by to UTEP. It's on Staten Street. Do you know the actual address, Tim?
No, I don't know the actual
Yeah,
address.
well, it's on Staten Street, and basically, there was this competition that Fernanda, the director of the Blackstone Foundation here at UTEP, she recommended us join this competition. It was called Dia de los Muertos. So we applied. We got rejected, but basically, what came out of that is we got one of the people who was spearheading the whole competition. His name is Joe Sapien. He emailed us and was like, hey, we're having this event at the Sandbox. Why don't you come join us and meet other entrepreneurs like yourselves? So we went. It was Eric and I. We went, and it was just during like the Spider-Man Homecoming movies, because I remember right after that I went to go see the Spider-Man. But basically, we went there. We introduced ourselves. I guess we met like-minded other startups here in El Paso, and what really came out of that is that we basically got a deal to work out of that office for like 3 months. So that's actually where we're based right now. You can come join us, or you can come check it out anytime you like. It's called Sandbox Ventures. But basically, through that, we met so many different people who basically introduced us to the competitions here in El Paso. So with that being said, they also have the same people who made Dia de los Muertos. They also made the El Paso Pitch competition. So they encouraged us to apply. We were able to get in this time, and we basically competed against other local startups here in the region. And the journey was crazy because we knew that we needed to have like this website that would be able to attract a lot of users, but also enough that it had like a lot of future potential, so that these people would, these judges would give us first place. So the whole process, the whole journey from finding Joseph Sapien and then actually applying and competing in the El Paso Pitch competition was like 6 months. And yeah.
So this is like a perfect example that when a door closes, another one opens. Even though you got rejected for the Dia de Muertos pitch, you won the El Paso Pitch competition. So that's amazing, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and I want to stress, like, we had a lot of help, like, within those 6 months from, like, going to that space. And then we met a lot of people who were a lot smarter than us, like, telling us, advising us, how do we do this? What do we do? How can we get users? This whole idea of building InternBytes correctly. And I think that helped a lot in getting first place. So that was super important, which is networking. So that helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like having mentors during like the whole process is like perfect. So it's great that you guys had that.
Yeah.
Talking about numbers, let me ask you, how many students have signed up for InternBytes?
Yeah, so we launched officially on March 2022. And since then, we've been able to get 1,200 student users.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a lot of students. Imagine sometimes we don't see how much people it is, but if you put 120, you said?
1,200.
1,200. Imagine all those people in a room. You will need like at least 4 rooms to fill that many people. So that's amazing. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a start, but it's a big start. It's a lot of people.
And you guys are going to get more just in a second. So I'm going to open the floor to you guys so that you can promote your social media, your website. Listeners, pay really close attention to all of this info.
Yeah. So we're on all social medias. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and our biggest social media, TikTok. So come follow us. We're just InternBytes. There's no underscores, no hyphens. It's just InternBytes, bytes with the Y. It's very important. And yeah, come follow us. We're always posting like career development tips and how to basically advance your career as a student.
And most importantly, check out our website, internbytes.com. That's where you'll see all the content. It's free to sign up. So just go on there, check it out.
So you guys, you already know, sign up. And again, we just wanted to include our social media as well. If you guys don't know about it yet, you can find us in Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as Studio G UTEP. Or you can Google us as Studio G UTEP, and it's going to be the first link that's going to appear. You click in there and you're going to be able to join us. We also have 2 different programs within the center, which is the Blackstone Launchpad. You can find them in their Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. And the website, the same thing, UTEP Blackstone Launchpad, first link that you'll see. And the Mike Loya Center in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So go follow us.
Please. Let me ask you guys one question. If you want to answer, what are you guys working on right now? As of today, what is a project that you're doing with InternBytes?
Yeah, good question. So right now, we actually, like I said, we just talked with Amazon. And so we're really focusing on this thing we're calling the employer portal, right? So on InternBytes, there's a bunch of students who are trying to get internships and learning about them. So we want employers also kind of on our site, but a separate site, that can find these students, right, who want to get these internships. And so, yes, right now it's the employer portal. Employers can go on there. They can see all these analytics about these students. They can see who's applied to certain positions and stuff, and just try to get these students who want these internships.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and Tim's actually been the one who's been working on this a lot, and he has a lot of sleepless nights, so just working on the employer portal.
But it's worth it. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we're about to make our first revenue, and that's that's a big milestone for us. In 2.5 years, or about to be 2 years, or I don't know, around 2 years, we're finally about to start making some sort of revenue.
So we already know who's paying for dinner after the podcast. Another question is, who's going to be better to give another student an advice if it's someone that already went through something like this? We have a lot of entrepreneurs, students here at UTEP, but is there any advice that you can give to them, or something that you would like someone to tell you when you started InternBytes?
I think I can speak on this. One thing I find about myself is I'm not super brave, or maybe not brave. I don't put myself out there a lot. One thing I noticed in Max is that he does that. And so I think it's super important to be able to network and just put yourself out there. Like with the Dia de los Muertos pitch, we failed that. Max still showed up to some event he was invited to after, just because he didn't have anything to gain from it, but he went, and then he met these people, and then it turned out we worked in the space, and it led to all this stuff, right? So just don't be afraid, be bold, and talk to a lot of people as much as you can.
Talking about networking, we will be having a lot of opportunities to network here at the Mike Loya Center for Innovation and Commerce. We will have a lot of workshops during the semester, and either you can find information in our Instagram page, Studio G UTEP, or Facebook page or website, or either you can send us an email. Mia is the principal consultant of Studio G. Her email is magomez46@minors.utep.edu, or you can send an email to me, cemora@minors.utep.edu. Do you have any other advice that you want to share?
Yeah, I think on top of that, reaching out and putting yourself out there is also, you have to have a good team. I believe our team's we have a really good chemistry. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all complement each other in certain things. And so I think a team's very important. In the past 2 years, it's been kind of hard to continue the dream and just continue this whole idea of InternBytes, because our first and a half year, we didn't really have anything. We didn't have any traction. We didn't have any revenue. We didn't have anything. So we didn't have anything, but we still believed in the whole idea. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We really started from scratch. We're computer science students, but we knew nothing about web development or how to really just put a website on there or how to start a business. So just having that motivation and having that team to support you, I think that's really important.
Do you guys argue a lot?
Yeah, we argue a lot. Yeah.
And how do you guys fix it? You just, hey, I'll take you to dinner, and then you just fix it? Or how do you guys fix it?
So I guess we've developed this kind of a thing where we just we take ownership. So for example, if for some reason I submitted some code and it like broke the whole website, instead of like me just blaming everybody else, I'm like, all right, guys, this is my fault. We argue a little bit, but at the end of the day, someone takes, I guess, the blame and just owns up to that. And
yeah, I feel like we're all pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
So we might yell at each other a little bit or something or get mad, but in the end, we're like, all right, you're right. Or like, oh, okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And that's the beauty of teamwork.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to be, I think, our last question. And it's a personal one. Was any time that you guys had in your mind to just give up, to just say InternBytes is not working, it's a lot of work, we don't have enough time management, we're students, we have a life outside of here? Did you guys ever thought of giving up?
Yeah, so we have a couple times. There's been times where it's like we just have like months and not like contributed to InternBytes, where we're just doing our own thing, and we're busy with other stuff basically. So yeah, there's been a lot of times where we decided to give up, especially during the pandemic as well, when we couldn't even see each other and everything just seemed like gloomy. But this is something that we didn't really talk about. But the whole point of InternBytes is to get students like us, like from an underrepresented community, internships. So right now, the tech and finance sector, they're very, very homogeneous. Like their workplace is not diverse at all. In the tech workforce, it's like mostly Asians and white people. And actually, in our whole 12 internship experiences, we usually are the only Latino student or the Latino team member on the team. So this whole idea of like, we're creating InternBytes for students like us who, first generation, or they just don't know about internships and how to really excel their career during college. So that whole idea of like, we're creating this platform to help students who don't know to succeed. Like that's what's been pushing us. That's our like motivation. And yeah, that's why we haven't given up yet.
Thank you so much for sharing that, especially the first generation. That's hard. Being a first generation student is hard. And what you guys are creating, it's something that to stand up and clap to you. But honestly, thank you guys for representing Latinos in the US, Latinos in technology, Latinos entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, because you are putting some work there. So thank you for that.
I got goosebumps.
Is there something else that you guys want to share before we end this episode, this amazing episode?
Yeah, just to sign up for InternBytes. You lose nothing, and it's free for students, and you can go up there and talk about anything you want. You can post content, and you could do it anonymously as well, so no one's gonna know. But yeah, I wish I had something like this during college, because I had to fail a lot, or we both had to fail a lot. I think I failed like 15 interviews before I got my first internship.
Wow.
And I think I had like 100 rejection emails before I actually got an interview. Well, not an interview, but before I got my first internship. So I didn't know these things that you're supposed to do during college in order to like increase your chance of getting an internship or just a job. And with InternBytes, you don't have to be alone. So yeah. Tim, you got anything?
No, that sums it up perfectly.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow us, Studio G, on Instagram, Blackstone Launchpad, and the Mike Loya Center for Innovation and Commerce.
And InternBytes. Sign up, you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here once again. We're truly honored, and we are hoping that your guys' story inspire a lot of students in the future and the present. So thank you guys once again. And stay tuned, you guys, listeners, because we will be having a third season with a new branding, new guests, and new stories to come. So stay tuned.
And obviously, you guys have an invitation when you get really successful to come back to our podcast.
More successful.
So thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And stay tuned. See you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Yeah, thank you.
All of the information we've mentioned during the episode, such as our social media and InternBytes accounts, you can find in the episode's description box. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and stay tuned for the next season.